is ready to work. It's ready to work when there's something major that goes on in your life. It's the same patience now that will cause you to be able to wait it out and to trust God while you're waiting it out, and where you won't be moved by what's going on. You won't be moved because it's not a quick fix, because it's going to take a little time. You won't be moved because of patience. I heard somebody say that patience with God is faith. Amen. Patience with man is love. Patience with God is faith. Patience with man is love. And so we see here that patience is a powerful force. It's a powerful force, and it carries a rich reward when we flow in patience. I wanted to read that text, Hebrews chapter 6, verse 12 through 15. I wanted to read it in the Message Bible. It says very clearly. I wanted to read it in the Message Bible. Hebrews chapter 6, verses 12 through 15 in the Message Bible. It says it like this. It says, don't drag your feet. You know, remember the King James says, don't be slothful. So Message Bible says, don't drag your feet. Be like those who stay the course with committed faith and then get everything promised to them. God gave his word. When God made his promise to Abraham, he backed it to the hilt, putting his own reputation on the line. He said, I promise that I'll bless you with everything I have. Bless and bless and bless. Abraham stuck it out and got everything that had been promised to him. I love that. I love that in the Message Bible, that he stayed the course with committed faith. He stayed the course with committed faith. And it just lets us know that our timetable is not God's timetable. They're not the same. God is not bound by time. Time came out of God. God does not fit in time. He didn't come out of time. Time came out of him. He is the beginning. He is the beginning. He is the Alpha. He is the Omega. He is, so God is eternal. He is eternal, so he's not bound by the limitations of time. I heard this little joke. A man asked God, he was inquiring about time first. He said, God, how long is 1,000,000 years to you in our time? And God says, a second. He said, in your time, it would be a second. Then he said, God, how much is $1,000,000 to you in our money? How much would that be to you in our money? He said, $1,000,000 in your money would be about a penny to me. Then he said, God, can I have a penny? God replied, just a second. So the Bible lets us know that patience carries a reward. It carries a reward, and that we have to exhibit patience in our lives when we are operating in the things of God and operating in God's plan and destiny for our lives, because God wants us to realize that certain things of intrinsic value, they take time. Things that have intrinsic value in them, they take time. Not everything is quick and easy in the economy of God. Not everything is going to be quick and easy. God cannot accomplish, he can't do what he wants to do overnight in a lot of cases, because God is interested in producing character. God is interested in maturation or maturity. God is interested in growth. He is interested in us developing. He's interested in us having a period of time to be proven, to be tested, to be tried, to go through some things so that we can learn and be developed, and so we can grow and mature. And so God realizes that time is very valuable in the process of events. So God doesn't just do everything instantly for us, because God values the process. He values the process more than the event, because it's through the process of time that we are developed and we are made, and we are really formed and fashioned into who He wants us to become. And we can gain the necessary experiences, and we can go through the experiences of life and the hard knocks, and we can go through some things that begin to build fortitude, that builds endurance, that gives us lasting power. That's what patience is. It gives you lasting power, where you don't just fall apart and cave in and quit at the first sign of trouble, where you're not just made out of something flimsy that'll collapse if a little wind blows on it. No, God wants you to be made out of sturdy material. He wants you to be made where you are made out of something that is solid, something that is steady, something that is well built, and that has stood the test of time. And so God uses a maturation process, a series of events to grow us, to process us, to get us ready. So that's why many of your prayers can't be answered right now. You aren't ready for them. It would destroy you if you got some of the things. You're not ready, or the other person may not be ready, or other circumstances are not ready. And so God He's looking at the whole thing. And so it's in His time. He knows when everything lines up, when everything is just right, when everything is ready. It's sort of like if you put something in the oven, you can't pull it out too fast if it's not cooked. You got to leave it in there until it's done. And so we don't want to be half-baked. We don't want to be half-baked, so God has to leave us in there, and it takes time. It takes time to season us, to make us crispy on the edges. I like my bread crispy on the edges. Don't bring me in the bread straight out of the sack. No, I want you to toast it, marinate it in the oven for me. Put some herbs on it, a little light butter. I want it crispy on the edge. See, it takes a little time. It takes time to get things ready. And so, but there's a great reward. There's a great reward when you let God do it, when you wait on His time. When you wait on God's time, you'll be so happy you did. You'll be so happy you did. Things will just work out so much better. You'll be in a proper position. And so God uses time, seed, time, and harvest. Notice seed, time, and then the harvest. It took Moses 40 years on the backside of the desert before God ever used him. Joseph spent 13 to 14 years before he ever made it to Pharaoh's palace. Abraham waited 25 years before he received the promised child. Noah had to preach 120 years before the rains came. Oh, the rewards of patience. I want you to go to airjesus.com. You can listen to this message number 7477, the reward of patience. You can listen to it in its entirety. You can also email it to a friend absolutely free of charge. Thank you so much for joining us today at Brothers of the Word, because brother, You need the word.
Hallelujah. Brothers of the word, when the voice of God is heard, brothers of the word, there's a word from God for everyone. Brothers of the word, because brother, you need the word. Brothers of the word. Brothers of the word.